situation where we got press conferences and street theater, and we need to know what it is we want to do, what kind of props we've got, what kind of costumes we got, and what kind of stuff we need to make. So, John, what are your thoughts?
Well, it sounds good to me, the whole thing. It sounds well planned. I sort of question whether we can actually, in the beginning, meet the various timetables, because things tend to go wrong.
And you can quote me on that. You know who I am? Waffles Teeth Clown. Okay, I don't want to take any more of your time because we have to get ready for a long trip. We are taking that bus, and we are going to travel with many, many people from Franklin County in this area, and we're going to alert everyone along the route from here down to Barnwell, South Carolina, about a shipment of nuclear, they call it low-level waste, but we know different because it has traces of plutonium in that little garbage can, that big garbage can. And we're gonna warn everyone along the way, because guess what, folks? No one's notified about any movement of nuclear waste except the Department of Transportation. That's it. They know. They keep it secret. Someone might hijack the nuclear waste. That's how dumb they are. Who is going to steal 400 tons of nuclear waste? Tell me. I have no idea. Okay? Well, I see the President has arrived. Yeah, Madam President. Let's give her a big hand.
Hi, troops!
How about right up here in front of the sign, Debbie? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present the President of Citizens Awareness Network, Debbie Katz, who's leading the way with Watchdog, helping us watchdog the nuclear industry.
Thank you. He's our clown brigade. Without him, we couldn't move forward. Well, why are we here this morning? It's a beautiful day. On April 28th, Yankee Atomic Electric Company will move the 6,000 Curie reactor vessel from its decommissioning power station in Rowe, Massachusetts, to the railroad tracks for shipment to Barnwell, South Carolina. Presented as a technological marvel, the 366-ton shipment is in truth death's garbage can.
And in November '93, there was another load that came out, and a lot of us, close to 100 of us, met it up at the gates of Rowe and walked in front of it. And when we got to the tracks, this song was written. Coming out of Yankee Row, 150 tons in tow, truck creeping down the road, 66 wheels turning round, Geiger counters clicking out the sound of that radiation load. Phallic symbol in cement is where that radiation went, so they could put it on a train.
What do you went to court here? So what advice would you have for anybody who wanted to choose a career in public relations for the nuclear industry? Not going to talk to you.
And I want to point out the fact that you can call. There's some numbers in here to call. This is a letter from the mayor of Snelling, because the disposal facility is actually in the town of Snelling, not in Barnwell.
Oh, okay.
And there's some numbers in here. The mayor of Snelling, the mayor of Barnwell, the superintendent of schools. They have no problem with the facility down there, and they're happy to talk to the media up here and do an interview with you. And the rest of this is information about the shipment. That's what it looks like. That's what we're going to be shipping.
Because I brought a lot of lunch money for us.
Right.
You know, and I want to eat good down there. I heard like some, the cuisine. Ooh la la. Yeah. So, keep the boys happy here. Keep them well fed. Do the work that needs to be done. Keep this waste on the move. Yes, sir.
We're also doing it economically, because if it's sat here for 30 to 50 years, the rate here is a lot more money to take care of it. We also don't believe that it's something we should do for other generations to take care of when we have a viable, intelligent solution.
I'm one of the largest shareholders in Nucor PAC. My name is Phil T. Rich, and I'm all for this. I'm all for this. Shoot this stuff all over the place. The more we put it on the road, the more money we can make. Do you know how much a barrel of nuclear waste goes for these days? I mean, there is money in nuclear waste. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen out there in TV land, if you have a backyard, your backyard can make you money. You just contact us. We are constantly looking for places for storage of this highly radioactive waste. And if you call our offices at Yankee Moronic, that's Yankee Moronic Utility Company, we will be assured to get in touch with you and get your backyard surveyed to see exactly how much nuclear waste you can hold. Listen, see this lunch? I have thousands of dollars in here that our corporate executives just eat up for lunch. And that's just a drop in the bucket because you ratepayers out there, you're paying up the gazoo, and we want to continue to pay. Because, like, you know, investments, America's America, and business is business. And that's the way it goes in America, you know. No one cares that the lakes are dying and the air, you can't breathe anymore, and the food's polluting. No, just as long as their lunch is provided, they're going to continue to move this waste all over the world. So, hey, get in the swing, America. I mean, your backyard is a resource to you.
So you're going to go all the way down with us? Good. You're going to stay with us? You know?
No, I think we might.
This could be like the hostage crisis, you know, by the end of it. We might convince you, you know, by the end of it. I could work for Yankee Atomic and you could join CAN. You see, we trade places.
I have to hear your speech. Everything keep going.
You'll have to get earplugs. Because you're on our trip, you see, so there's no choice about it.
That's true.
You're going to start complaining about my speech, and we've only gone to one stop.
This Waffles got lost already?
Oh, I think he'll be back. He's here.
What, with the bus?
Oh, the bus, we had to have a little work done on the bus. It should be meeting us in Albany.
So where is...
There, it's Mercury in retrograde, so keep your fingers crossed about the vessel.
What time is it?
Everything is breaking down. 12:30.
What time are you doing?
Around 3, I think, is when we do. Then we're actually going to Oneonta, and then we're staying in Otsego, and then to Binghamton in the morning, and then Harrisburg.
State House.
Yes.
Where are you doing, Washington?
We're going to be at the reflecting pool. We're going to do a press conference there as well. Yeah.
You're right?
Yes, there's going to be a beautiful picture of this by the reflecting pool, the Capitol, or whatever in the back.
And then from there to Raleigh? Or?
Yeah. Then to Raleigh, the State House, and then down to South Carolina, the State House, and then to Barnwell, and then back up, and then to North Carolina to a conference. Are you coming back at that point? Are you going to go to Salem with our crew? You're going to snub New Jersey.
No, I get a chance to play some golf.
Can you hold it carefully down the track to Albany?
All right, so between 20 after and 9:30. We're waiting for them to appear.
I mean, I guess I'm missing something, but you said something is starting in Florida. Can you go through this?
Florida, Massachusetts.
Oh, Florida, Massachusetts. They're going to ship it down to Florida, bring it back up to
No, we're not.
It's going by rail.
It's going by rail.
To
Schenectady.
by rail to Schenectady.
Then it changes locomotives and it changes rail companies. And then it goes down.
Get it, sir. How you doing, man?
I think it switches then Binghamton to another.
We're going to try to do some sort of coverage from the station.
So,
see if we can.
when did the plant actually close?
92. Operated the plant for 32 years. We're now in the decommissioning phase of the plant, which is called Project Green Field, what we call it.
Still in decommissioning after all these years?
Well, it takes 5 or 6 years to do that because you got to take all the radioactive material off the site, which is what we're doing.
We're going to start their press conference.
Okay, I'm available close.
Yeah. Some of you know the bus and the cask are still in transit, but David Hacker, who's one of the people traveling with the Caravan of Conscience, Basically, the Rowe nuclear power plant, which has been shut down about 6 years ago, is in the process of transporting nuclear waste from Rowe all the way down to Barnwell, South Carolina, going to a lot of our communities without any advance notice. A lot of us here in the Capital District are very concerned that this type of radioactive material is being transported through our community with no public input. But David's going to talk to us more about what they're doing.
All right, thank you. My name is David Kotker. I work with Citizens Awareness Network, which is a small group of local people from around the Rowe nuclear reactor, one of several communities in New England that is forced to host a nuclear reactor. Ours has closed and is being decommissioned. The company has chosen rapid dismantlement rather than on-site storage, which is what we had suggested they do and what the NRC originally recommended. Rapid dismantlement involves shipping the cut up bits of the reactor down to shallow land disposal in the town of Barnwell, South Carolina. And basically what we are doing is we are following the approximate route of the shipments, making people aware of what kinds of things are coming through their towns and their communities, and getting people together so we can send a wake-up call to the nuclear industry that this kind of thing is no longer tolerable.
Radiation's coming, radiation's coming, radiation's coming your way, your way, your way, your way, my town and your town. Gotta turn that train around, radiation's coming your way, your way, your way.
I love that couple. They sing wonderful harmonies. But what you've just heard is preposterous. Nuclear power is totally safe. It's always been safe. It always will be safe. And why, there's more danger climbing a ladder than nuclear power. There are more deaths and accidents from people falling off ladders in this country. And I tell you that what this Citizens Awareness Network is doing is just scaring the pants off America.
So what are you guys doing on this trip?
You answer for us.
Well, we're mostly with our parents coming to experience it and to find out really what it's like, and just to help around. To be here.
Publicity. Yeah, that's the word I'm with. She wants to get in the news.
That's great.
What? Oh, I want my picture taken. I want that mask.
And just to help out and be a part of everything.
Are you concerned about radioactive waste?
Yeah, totally. And it's nice to get a first-hand view of what it's like and to really understand what's going on.
I thought this was a chance of a lifetime, so I just thought I'm not do it.
So what are your names? Could you guys introduce yourselves one at a time?
Okay, Jared Howenstein. I'm from Connecticut.
Okay.
I'm Nicole Manjali. I'm also from Connecticut. My dad is part of the Connecticut CAN group. And I'm Esther Katz, with my mom from Rowe.
It was amazing. Like she was like dressed like a short.
Hey, we need you on the bus.
Yes.
You gotta come with us. You look like you've already. I don't think you have room for him. He won't fit. Hi. All right, ready to begin? Yes, I'm ready to begin. Folks. Hi. Here we go. This is the show. I had a whole speech, but it's too late in the day. So I'm going to try to give you the short rendition of our sagas and what's going to come through your community or near your community. My name's Debbie Katz. I'm with the Citizens Awareness Network. I live in Rowe, Massachusetts, home of the first commercial nuclear power station in America. And until about 5 years ago, although I didn't like nuclear power, there wasn't a hell of a lot I did about it. And with the issues of the embrittlement of the Yankee Rowe reactor vessel, all of that changed, and we began to worry in our community about how that reactor was affecting us. And in large part because of our organizing work and the embrittlement of that reactor shut down. We thought our work was over. Isn't that it? It's over, you can go home. Well, one of the things we realized is that reactor routinely and regularly dumped radioactive waste in our river. And none of us realized it. And people in our community were shocked and terrified that our children swam in that river, and farmland is adjacent to the river, and in drought, farmers take the water from the river to irrigate their crops. And we began to wonder whether the high rates of Down syndrome and cancer and sterility and birth defects were related to what was being dumped in the river. And we started to say, no more. This experiment is over. And then Yankee began a rapid dismantlement of the reactor. We thought it was going to sit there for a long time and do nothing. Well, they decided that their new gambit was to strip the reactor and strip our hearing rights. And we appealed to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and asked them to hold a hearing about what was the safest way to decommission the reactor. And they ignored us. And they ignored us, and they ignored us. And eventually, even though we started out as a small little group, at this point we're sort of a regional group in a number of states, we said, they're breaking the law. This isn't democratic. This isn't American. We're going to take them to court. And after many years of struggle, we took them to court and won. And the NRC and Yankee Atomic were found to be in violation of the National Environmental Policy Act, the Administrative Procedures Act, and the Atomic Energy Act. And what the NRC did after the appellate court in Boston, the second highest court in the land, ruled that they were acting illegally, what did they do? They changed their rules to make Yankee, which is what we call this decommissioning, legal. And we said, wait a second, what is this about? You don't win and then you change your rules to do whatever you want? This is unacceptable. This is the meltdown of democracy. We have a right to a hearing. We have a right to sit at the table, to be involved in the issues of pollution and prevention for our reactor, and to have the people from the waste sites be involved in that process as well. Now, we decided if this kind of problem was created in, let me just talk for a moment about the problem in our community, because we have an epidemic of disease in our community. We have a 10-fold increase in Down syndrome. We have statistical significance in breast cancer, in non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. We have multiple myelomas. People, it's a rare blood disease. Only 12,700 are diagnosed each year throughout the country. In 10 years, we have 11 cases strewn throughout our valley. There is anecdotal evidence. Anecdotal evidence means that people sit around and have coffee at a table and they say, and they talk about people who have had miscarriages. That's anecdotal evidence. We've learned all sorts of new terms for what we know. We have high rates of sterility, miscarriage, immune deficiency diseases, and we fear this is related to long-term exposure to low-level radiation, and possibly related to dioxin exposure as well, because it was a paper mill dumping. Because when you're a poor rural community, what do? All the corporations dump on you. That's the deal you make. You get jobs, and they contaminate your community. And now that row is getting out of where they are, what they want to do is clean us up by contaminating another community. Another community that needs jobs, that's poor, that has their struggles, that wants to accept the waste because in a certain way they don't have another way of living. Just like my community in Roe didn't have another way of living. And we're saying this is unacceptable. That community should not be put in this position to have to make a choice between short-term survival with jobs or long-term health and safety struggles. And that's what we confront, and that's why we're protesting these death shipments that are going through your community that will go all the way down to Barnwell, South Carolina. And why this is important, because even though the NRC basically was able to thwart us, 25 reactors face premature shutdown and decommissioning in the next 9 years, which means the floodgates of waste will open. And there'll be a lot of waste on the roads, and there will be accidents from this process. New York has a lot of reactors. They have a lot of waste, and this waste is going to get on the roads just like Yankees waste is getting on the roads, just like Connecticut Yankees down in Haddam, Connecticut will get on the road, just like Oyster Creek's waste will get on the road from New Jersey, and all of this waste will be crisscrossing the country, being dumped in communities that don't have the ability to make a choice and don't have all the information that they need to make an educated choice, just like my community. For 31 years, we didn't know that they dumped in our river. And we have to take responsibility for our part in that not knowing. And the corporation, we believe, has to take responsibility for all the waste they created. And you take responsibility not by moving it somewhere else and making it disappear, but by accepting the reality that the whole gambit that came out, that nuclear power is safe, clean, and cheap, is bankrupt and deceitful. Because in fact, it's not clean because it produced all of this waste. And now they have to try to find a way to make it disappear. And it has not been safe because the waste isn't safe. And it's not cheap because it costs $37 million to build Roe, and it will cost close to $400 million to decommission it. This is a catastrophe. This is a catastrophe, and this is the smallest reactor in the country. Imagine what it's going to be like when the big ones in your state, or the big ones around 3 Mile Island, decommission, or in Connecticut. This is nuclear madness. And what we are saying is this madness must stop. This experiment must stop. It is over. It's now our job to protect our communities, our lands, to make sure that there is clean water to drink, air to breathe, and land to inhabit for our children and our children's children in the future. Thank you. I don't know if we have any performers at this late hour. We do have a man who's selling radioactive water that I think might want to try to sell a couple of bottles on his way down to Barnwell.
Would you allow me a few moments?
I certainly always allow the opposition a couple of moments to talk. We feel it's very important for democracy that everyone get their moment in the sun.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Professor Schnook. And I, for many years, I lived downriver from the Roe reactor in a small community called Monroe Bridge. I lived in the burned out cafe there. And I noticed that the people of Monroe Bridge were extra energetic. I couldn't understand why. They were waking up earlier and putting in longer hours and working hard. And then I noticed that they weren't eating, they were just drinking the water there. And I said, aha, there's something in that water they're drinking. And after a few years of observing this and realizing that I could just go right down to the river and scoop up the water and put them into these containers and then bring them to you direct. Well, I've been on the road for many years trying to hawk my water. I haven't been able to be much successful because people don't believe me, but now I have the whole nuclear industry behind me, and we are trying to bring you atomic water on tap. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can enjoy it right in your own home, along with all the other chemicals that they lay on that water. You know what I mean? And I'm only here to give you free complimentary samples thanks to Yankee Futilities Company, because that's who I'm working for. So if you have a little jug or a little cup, I would be very happy to pour some of this miraculous substance into a container. Or
I think I'll wait for the faucet.
Oh, okay.
Did you say Yankee Futility?
That's correct, madam.
That's what I thought.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. And remember, nuclear waste has taste.
So we want to thank you for coming and being so patient and waiting for us to show up with our car problems. And just like all the other problems. And we're grateful for your support. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, inch by inch.
Do you have any idea how many shipments will come through on the island?
Well, we know that there is the vessel that's coming through. They have had the major shipments by rail have been the steam generators and now the vessel. The others have mostly gone by car. They've taken them down in trucks and in vans down to Barnwell.
Is there any way to deal with this nuclear waste safely? What is the solution to that problem?
Well, I think it needs to be held on site. The NRC, first of all, says the waste is safe for 100 years on site. We believe it should be held on site for 30 years. If it stays on site for 30 years, then like the 140,000 curies that Yankee basically is moving off site will decrease to about 14,000 curies in 30 years.
But it'd be out in the air.
Well, no, it will be in the buildings. These will basically be where they are and protected. The hottest parts of the reactor are not outside, and they could sit there. That would minimize exposure to workers, the public, to the transport route, and it would really minimize the amount that goes to a dump. They have never proved that it's cheaper to do a rapid dismantlement. And one of the things that we got by suing the NRC and winning is we got discovery. And we were able to open up Yankee Atomic's records on worker exposures, which showed that they were routinely and regularly underestimating how much workers were exposed, and that the figures they were using were really inaccurate, and that workers were being exposed a lot more from this rapid dismantlement than anyone had recognized before. And one of the things we're going to do is sue the NRC in Connecticut in the second decommissioning for our hearing rights down there and for the inaccuracy of what they have basically laid out for worker exposure. They're not telling the truth. So we will go on. Oh, that would be great. The main thing is we need the cooler for the transmission. That's the most emergent problem.
I'm going to make a phone call and then say, here.
That's a fairly easy thing to accomplish,
Yeah.
I think, in the morning if you pull into the right shop.
Well, I think we can do it. The one thing I think we have to say is that Bill McGee is probably going to show up there and say, hey, they're not here. But we can call the press and cancel. We'll cancel it.
He doesn't know where it is.
Right.
Well, yeah.
It says
Well, is
switch
there
off.
anybody who could just make a big poster or banner that says fake out, see you later,
Actually-
you know, and just put there for him?
Actually, it's good strategy to have him standing there by himself.
Yeah.
He's the only guy that doesn't know what's going on.
I saw him earlier. I walked down because the original thing that we had sent out to the woman who did the radio stuff in Albany said Capitol Hill Park rather than Capitol Plaza, which is like a block down.
Right.
So I walked down to see if anyone in fact went to Capitol Hill Park by mistake, and I was going to round them up and bring them up to Capitol Hill Plaza.
And you unfortunately
And
saw
who was
him.
there? Bill McGee. He said, "Where's your troops?"
You said, we'll be here in 5 minutes, wait right
I
here.
said they're having some kind of transportation. I don't know when they'll be here, and I just walked up. So
He
if
followed
we can do
you.
that to him in Binghamton, that's fine with me.
That'd be great. Wait right here.
Don't move a muscle.
Give me your money and wait here.
Well, what I would like to do is be in a vehicle where I can use computer and write the letter.
Yeah.
And I can start writing that letter, and then we just need to make copies. If we get to Harrisburg early, then we can just make copies of it and get it out to the press in our press packets and our releases.
You don't want to just like maybe type it out and then fax it?
I'm going to fax it to Harvey. I'm going to get Harvey to put it out in a press release and get Nears to then put it out in a press release so it goes out all over the place about our attitude. We just have to go through it.
Clarify
Uh-huh.
and
No, don't tell them to have an attitude.
defuse what McGee is setting up.
Yeah. Well,
opponents are questioning whether this toxic trip is safe. Diane Ward reports.
Calling itself a caravan of conscience, some anti-nuclear activists came to Albany this afternoon to protest the transport of a nuclear reactor vessel over local rail lines. The reactor from the now-closed Yankee nuclear power plant in Rowe, Massachusetts, will travel by train right through the Capital District on its way to a waste dump in South Carolina.
Well, my concerns are what kind of radioactivity is going to be left in its wake along the tracks and the communities where it's passing through, as well as what if there should be an accident.
Debbie Katz of the Citizens Awareness Network says the reactor contains deadly radioactive waste.
It's very hot. If it should, in fact, have an accident and emergency responders have to deal with it, there are problems of contamination.
But Yankee Row officials say the shipment poses no danger to residents along the route. Spokesman Bill McGee says the train speeds will not exceed 25 miles per hour, and the 28-foot-long reactor vessel will be filled with cement and encased in this 3-inch thick steel container.
That container is built in such a way to, if the unlikely did happen, if the train was involved in a wreck or fell into a river or lightning hit it or something, all these things have been taken into account, and that's why it's a real thick steel container with redundant systems to it, and if it does fall off the train, somebody come pick it up, put it on another train and haul it off.
But activist Katz fears that as more nuclear reactors are dismantled, sooner or later, something will go wrong on the rails or the road.
What we're looking at is a panoramic view of 109 reactors putting their contaminated, very deadly waste on the road, and it's going to increase the accident rate.
Diane Ward, News Center 6, Albany.
Several state agencies have been made notified of the vessel's route, but we're told no special precautions are being taken.
Morning.
Okay, end well exit, which is, do you know the number? Okay.
Hi.
Where's my hat?
Just gave it to me. Here's your hat. What's your hurry?
Okay, 6. There, now I can go.
Don't forget your seatbelts.
Bye-bye. Back to the bone.
I'm not saying that she does, but
no, I don't know.
I just see her.
We will call you back.
So what happened?
Give me your number again.
Well, we found out that we went to install a cooling device on our transmission.
Thank you.
And we found out that the vehicle had a cooling device already. And so we're overtaxing a cooling device on the transmission. And I'll tell you this, Fords and American cars, they're wimpy, and as my friend says, they're fluffy, hippie vehicles.
Yuppie.
Yes, sorry, hippie, yuppie, you know. You get those letters mixed up.
A slip of the tongue.
All right, can we report, what's the story?
Well, what the story is that we can rent this rig for $325 for 3 days to DC. If we on to Raleigh with it, it's going to be $729.
Okay, that's it. Are they gassing up over there?
Hi.
Yeah. Oh, I got to give him money too. The car okay?
Yeah, your car is fine. We didn't even overheat it again on this trip. But you know, sometimes it doesn't start. It happened at Freddie's and Debbie's house the first time I used it. I thought I just wasn't doing it right. You know, the door wasn't shut or the foot wasn't up in the air or something. But,
Always something.
That's why it's still
You know? Always something.
So where are we at, Dave?
a little bigger, please.
Gee whiz, I wonder what those are.
I don't know. They're photogenic, though.
It's a miracle. It's the twin pillars of Harrisburg. same place. One way. Now what? What are we doing, folks? I bet you she's pulling her hair out. The rest of our company is still on the road. Is there a place that we want to stay with our cars? Okay. All right, until they come, we can stay here. But when they come, we have to like move out.
Okay. This is a very bad day, and it's only half over. So we have to hold ourselves together in the face of two vehicles being down, one up, the other completely down, but coming up. My children in Scranton, not even knowing when they're going to get into D.C. Sal coming here with the calf. That should be in about a half an hour, because if he gets lost like we did, since the directions are so sloppy. Around. This is so pathetic. I mean, we should be shot by the New Year's. These are the moments I believe that they're completely right.
Well, Debbie, what do you think if we had a budget like Yankee?
Then they should shoot us. Maybe incorporate. But there's got to be something in between. That's what.
If we had half their budget.
Look, but it's not just about budgets. This is a very star-crossed day, if you know. This is like Romeo and Juliet winding up killing themselves by accident before they find each other.
I think it's like the man from La Mancha and Sancho.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
I think that windmills are, this is a windmill operation area.
Windmill
solar windmills, the whole...
The impossible dream.
And we're fighting one of the darkest forces in all of history.
Yes, I agree, but we're also somehow, I feel, fighting our own sloppiness as well.
Debbie, we're imperfectly perfect. We're perfectly imperfect.
I agree.
Both ways it works.
But
we're doing the best we can. Look, we're lucky we made it this far. I think he's getting the picture that we're more incompetent than he is. But we don't have a multi-$1,000 budget. We don't have, like, all of our expenses paid. So I think for an ad hoc volunteer group, we're very bold, courageous, and actually, the war's not over, and this is just one more battle.
Yeah. That's true. That's how I was thinking. It was not a good day on the field for us, let's put it that way. Although we would have been all right in Binghamton. If we had gone to Binghamton, we would have had the press. That's where the press was waiting. But we couldn't get there because we had to fix the vehicles. We just couldn't do it. I got some calls, but we couldn't do it.
This is, sweetheart, this is why it's important because
I didn't make the decision about it.
I know.
So,
I'm not going to blame you. You're doing great. Debbie, you're doing great.
I don't feel great.
I know you don't, but let me tell you this. We could have sent a little T-Mobile contingency to greet whoever was there.
Well, we didn't think anyone was going to. That was part of the crazy.
I saw the announcer said yesterday on the news.
I know. But we never thought it was going to take that long. We were in Binghamton. We couldn't even get the railroad yard, except we were completely tangled up in that town with one problem after another.
But I know, but
Yes.
if all the information, I'm
Good. I
endless
got so many
ideas.
calls from the press about where we were in Binghamton, and we just were not there in McGee.
I feel well. Because you're keeping it all. You think I could have helped?
Well, I was getting the calls on the phone. There was
I know.
nothing I could do. By the time it was over, you know, there were all these press calls coming through, and Fred was calling Dr. Zuckercandle, doesn't know the number to call, so he couldn't get to me.
Well,
and we couldn't send anyone over. By that time, we had no vehicle for Sandy. I mean, we were down the cast. The bus.
Honey. Oh, honey.
Why didn't I work for Yankee Atomic? I mean, that's where I belong. With $1 million.
Disregard that. She's having a breakdown right now. But she'll be okay. Because look, I just want to say something to the boys and to girls. You're the one person that has to be there. And if I can get a waste, 55-gallon waste, here they come.
Period. Nobody's in it.
We got it. We'll store it. You haul it, we'll store it. Sitting on that wall. All right. Tapping this foot with his knee out. He's right there. He's waiting for us. Now, John, let's walk over and say hi to Bill.
Okay.
We have to move these out of the way. Can't leave them parked out there. Here. Bill, Mr. McGee. You see what we're pulling our...
I just noticed that. You don't have any vehicle.
Well, we're having a lot of trouble.
Where's the bus?
The bus is broken down, and the vehicle couldn't pull. It was over, and we missed Binghamton, and now we missed. Were there a lot of press here, or there were? Totally pressed out. See that? See what happens when you're a volunteer organization.
But thanks for the free shot at the press this morning in Binghamton.
You got everything out there. Oh, you really socked it to him. You cat.
No, but I tell you, I'm not a rotten guy.
No.
I tell you what I did. I used my car phone to call Fred.
Oh, you did, to let him know.
And I said, Fred, I got some reporters here that want to talk to you. And I put the reporter on my car phone to talk to your guy. To put you now, is that a good guy or what?
That is good. So now you have some extra ones of these.
Well, you got a couple of snaps.
Oh, no, can't you give your friend one of your press?
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
I've already given Debbie one.
Okay, but I wanted to see this.
You want me to autograph it for you?
No, I got your autographed picture once before. But you may, did you see any of the news clips last night?
This morning I got this clip in the paper.
Did you see that close-up of you?
No.
Holy
nice
cow.
picture.
Oh, you were explaining how safe the...
It's pretty safe, yeah.
How you were explaining how safe it was, and you were explaining the thickness of the all of how many inches was that? 3 inches.
I think I made 3. I think.
3 inches, and your hands went like that. And then you were talking, and you weren't conscious of your body language, and you kept wanting to tell the truth, but your other part of you kept on saying it's safer. It's safer. The inner self. So we were like sort of yes. 3 inches. We did enjoy that. 3 inches, and then also about falling. If it fell off the trail, you would just lift it onto another trail. Do you know in Hubbardston it took them all week to do that?
It probably would take a couple of days.
And they had to cut it up. Now they ain't gonna cut up the garbage.
Just trying to tell you that everything's all right with the DOE. We're checking the load out and everything is fine. So just don't worry about anything. It's all okay. Get in your gas and hurry up and get along and everything will be fine. It's 3 inches thick, that thing. It's 3 inches thick. inches. Delivery. Michael Merritt. Your laced his hair, sir.
All right, America, I want you to look at the real president of Citizens Awareness Network.
To finally smoke my cigar.
She's got her stogie in her
Got my
hand.
stogie.
And
I've got a beer in my other hand.
A beer in her other
And
hand.
it's okay at this point.
Now, you might ask.
You know, it was so bad that seeing Bill McGee was actually a relief. In Harrisburg, it was like, oh, at least a friendly face, even if it's one that's killing you.
A friendly face.
He even felt sorry for us.
Oh, he was quoting it, so he was so happy and charged. We were defeated the second day. I called him on the 6 inches, you know.
Oh, yeah?
But we were on camera, I didn't want to get too vulgar.
Yeah.
But he said he was glad I called him on it, and he's watching this tonight. But I was saying, America, this is your shining knight in white armor. This is your last hope for any kind of sanity for the planet. Look at her.
Rest assured.
Rest
in peace.
Yeah.
Something like that.
You're putting all your eggs in this basket. You folks are about to get out and off the couch. I'm telling you, man. Time is running out.
We kicked off in Greenfield, went to North Adams, so we went to Albany, then Oneonta, all on Monday. And we were having trouble with the car, but it was great. We actually did terrific.
They were good shows.
Great press.
Really good
We were
shows.
on TV 3 times in Albany. I was completely shocked.
You know, with all the stuff at 9 Mile, there's been
Yes.
a lot of TV coverage lately up there.
I think that really helped. And
Yeah, we just got a video in from the meeting Paul went up to last weekend. They were doing live coverage from the meeting.
Wow, really?
Yeah, all
great.
evening long.
Holy
That's
cow.
great. Wow.
You know, with the reporter be out there, and they were just getting ready to speak. She's doing it live from inside the meeting, and then she went outside, and
What was the
meetings
meeting
going on.
about?
There's like cars parked as far as you can see.
Right. Oh, that's great.
Wow.
It's
Good
their
deal.
Stroud.
And Paul was up there ranting,
Right.
you gotta close this plant now. It's
Great. Good.
They found some cracks in the core shroud at 9 Mile.
Okay.
And all the cracks that we've ever seen in
Are
core
horizontal.
shrouds have been vertical. going
Vertical,
up.
and these are horizontal.
These are horizontal, they're going across the shroud. And they're fixed for the vertical ones is just to put I mean essentially it's like a rubber band. I mean you know, put something on it to keep it together. But on a round thing, there's nothing you can put on that. And so the issue is whether they can restart without fixing it.
Okay. What kind of information did you send us?
We have a permit for the location of our press conference, which is at 10 a.m. down the mall.
Down here, though.
Right. But in no time to say
All right, then what we're going to do is, are you going to be circling the Capitol at all?
we plan to come just one more time, not stopping traffic between 11 and 12.
One more time, okay.
At the end of the press conference, on our way out.
If we got somebody coming out, maybe sweep your vehicle out, they called up that.
That's fine.
You might turn that thing off, please. Sir.
Y'all have checked it out before. We're real happy to have you check it out again. We're excited about the
exhausted and blown out. One of the things I want to say is I think, although Dave and Josh are staying behind, I would like us all to get down at a reasonable hour so we can talk tonight. Because to organize the rest of the tour, we're going to need some work. They made a party for us. It was really nice. Whoa.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that was all at the same time.
Here we are in Washington, D.C., and we're about to do this bit. I don't know how much press are coming, although they've been getting a lot of calls. There's rain. It's been limited what Washington could put out for us, but they've done work, and we'll see. We're clearly out here in the Capitol. If nothing else, this goes out, which is really pretty. And what we are going to do is do our wrap here, and Dave is going to introduce us. He's the MC, and he's going to refer to Bill McGee and to us. He's going to talk about the bus and how we've broken down. You know, this is a charming image of us poor and struggling, you know, and McGee's got a goofy car, but we're going to make him an honorary member of the bus tour.
I just want you to impart on everyone in one sentence what the mission is, so that people will know what we're doing here and it will be clear. In one sentence.
What we are here to do is to alert people to the garbage can of death that's coming through, that was created at Yankee Row and is going to make its way along transport routes, potentially contaminating communities along the way, and being dumped in Barnwell, South Carolina.
Mo, this is Mo. Joe's here. Yeah, we're delivering them. We don't know where we're delivering. We're lost in Washington. Where do you want this thing? Oh, the NRC.
NRC.
Yes, they wanted an NRC. Yes, okay.
Nasty righteous contamination.
Yeah, that's right. So they're going to test every shipment out of. They're going to test every shipment out of row. Okay, NRC.
Oh, they're testing them before it goes to the dump.
Right. Okay, so let's go.
Where?
Oh. They found some funny rocks out on the Colorado Flats, and they thought they'd make some money, so they hired some bureaucrats. Now they say it's what we need to keep us free from all our care, and we have atomic power radiation everywhere. You can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't stash it in the hall, you can't serve it up for dinner, it won't answer when you call. You can't throw it down the outhouse, and my friend, this is no lie. You will give it life and money, but you'll never make it die.
North Carolina, not far from Apex, at Sandy's Tourist Store, we're open. The bus is on the road, it left Scranton, it's on its way down. They're going to meet us at about 2 in the morning. Dave left at 3 from DC. They'll get in at 10. We'll all be there, and Hyman's coming down. Hopefully we'll all be in Raleigh together in the room. And this is Sandy. Sandy, hi.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's
really amazing.
Looking forward to it for months.
We kept waiting.
I know.
Yes, it kept going on and on.
That's right. Well, I just come from the grocery store.
Okay. Well, why don't we give you some help?
Now, who all is vegan here?
I am.
Okay, well.
My kids are.
Okay, so we've got, all these meals are, you can eat everything we make.
Great, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know how hard that can be.
Pardon?
Where are your girls? They out?
They're out.
With my kids, I imagine.
Yes, they're all running around together. Already.
Good.
It's wonderful.
It's funny how things happen, but shortly after we found out you folks were coming, what should happen? But we're not on a sewer line. We have septic,
Right.
and we have this thing called low pressure, which pumps it all uphill.
Right.
And shortly after we found out you were coming, we were saying, well, we can handle 15 people. What happened? But out of the ground, it's running down the hill. So I
I had a guy out here today, and he relieved some of the pressure, so we should be okay. But you don't have to worry about it. I was just commenting that it's kind of funny how those kind of things happen.
It's Mercury in retrograde. That's what's going on, and it's just been all over.
That's what's happened to all our vehicles.
All our vehicles.
We're within 5 miles
Of which reaction?
of the Sharon Harris.
I didn't realize that. Really?
Because I think it's pressurized. I don't know.
Does
It's got the big cooling tower.
No, then it's a boiling water. Because the other has a dome and it dumps its stuff in the river. The one with the cooling towers goes into the air.
Well, this has a cooling tower, plus it has a big lake that they heat up.
Right. Well, it's got to use the lake to get its water to cool off the core, but it's releasing most of its stuff into the air then.
Well, it's been online for 10 years. We fought it.
I bet.
Tooth and nail, and we're on a roll. We couldn't stop the momentum. They've been planning it for 15 years.
Right.
They've bought up all the property, and it's got one of the best safety records.
Oh, our reactor was
Yes,
like that too.
our reactor was like that too. They said it was the best.
Really?
Yes, reactor.
Well, we live in, whenever we're driving down the old US 1, which is the route down here, you can see the plume in the air. So we're always grumbling under our breath about the monster.
And where's the...
You did a very funny bit in Washington with the workers, okay? But
like
I
that.
don't want you to do it.
You don't want us to do it. All right.
You understand. I think to do it in Salem, I think there are a lot of places to do it, but we're about to go down into the territory where a lot of people have been kicking up a lot of shit about us, about our thinking people are stupid. And workers are stupid. And I would just, even though it's a great bit, I would like us to restrain that bit at this time.
We can
Show
become more
respect.
intelligent.
I don't think that's possible.
Do the rest.
And the bit works because you're so dumb. So that it would be a lot better to take on what Roseanne's talking about and also to do something with the water, selling the water, but just not the worker.
All right, well, see, okay, but, well, it's not that, it's not that big a deal.
It's a big deal.
It is?
It's a really big deal.
What about the rats? Do the
rats
rats.
Well, I can't get any cooperation. I asked, they didn't want to become rats.
We'll bang the rats
They're shy. You want to become a rat? I'll make you a rat. Okay, anybody get it?
Well, wait, well, let's just let's go to Dave and we'll come back and we can talk about some of the other
right? Well, I'm not so sure I want to throw in that nuclear waste.
You or you and me.
I don't quite understand
Not unless
why.
you intend to go all the way down to Barnwell with us. If you want to go to Barnwell, you can do the bid and they can take you on. But other than that, don't do something that you leave us to pick up your garbage.
I think we're getting lost in petty bus politics.
Okay. We went ahead of the bus because the bus was being repaired. We left all our clothes on the bus, plus other essential supplies, thinking the bus would catch up with us. In Raleigh, however, the bus had another breakdown in Richmond, which we hadn't anticipated, so all our supplies and clothing and things are still on the bus. And we need the bus. We need the bus for the action work that we were planning and still are planning in Raleigh, also in Columbia. Hopefully the bus will get repaired in time so that we can use it in Columbia, but we just don't know at this point in time.
Well, we're here, North Carolina, and we're about to do a press conference. It's a sunny morning, and we're okay. once more we've rallied to the occasion, and we have Lou Zeller here, and he's from Blue Ridge Environmental Defense League, and he's going to talk, and we have N.C. Warren here, and we have Carl Rupert from another group, and we're waiting for the legislator, sir, and Roseanne, and we're going to rock and roll pretty soon, and we even have some press.
You dumb, why did you do that with the paperwork? Who was that? Was he a representative?
I don't know.
He looked like he was a representative. What are you talking? Come on, bring that thing over here and don't hurry up with that thing, will you? And watch out, it's leaking over. Oh my God! Holy Toledo! Good thing it didn't leak. Oh my God! Get that over here. Hey, yo. Roll that bucket back here. Well, oh man, this is a catastrophe. Oh, no. Did it leak? No, it didn't leak. All right, put it back on there. Now, where are we? What's the leak for you?
We got this under control. Don't worry.
It just happened, but we just spilled it. Would you mind smudging some of this up? I don't want to get my gloves. We spilled some right over there. All right. Take a sponge. Take the bucket.
We got it. It's okay.
All right, come on over here. I think a little. I think there's a little.
Hey Joe, it's on your foot.
I think it's a little right over here. Can you sponge some of that?
Just one question. Will I grow an extra eye?
You will. We're not guaranteeing an extra eye, but if that's what you want, you can send your prayers up to God, and maybe it's right in here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. Now, after you clean it up, you should kill all the God. Just try not to. Okay, rest assured, everybody. We've got a sponge who's going to clean it up. Don't worry, we've got the future generation. They're going to clean it up. Oh, he's doing such a great job. Bless his little heart.
This nuclear waste cask further refutes the big lie. For 8 years in North Carolina, the people that want to build a nuclear megadump near Jordan Lake have promoted the idea to the public that this is for gloves and booties, lightly irradiated materials from medical facilities, etc. Groups like ours and the others here today have worked hard to try to get the truth out to the public. Last fall, for the first time in October, Southeast Compact Waste Generators admitted that they intend to bring dismantled nuclear reactors to North Carolina to the planned dump. We've known it all along, but they finally had to admit it. Now we see the reality is you've got material that's so highly radioactive that it can't be handled economically or safely, and they end up coming by secret, coming by rail in the dark of night in the shadows because they can't stand for the public to see the truth of what they're doing. This dump in North Carolina will not be for gloves and booties. They are a minor part of the problem.
Right now, North Carolina is about to be trespassed upon by a dangerously radioactive shipment of waste that's going from Roe to South Carolina. This is our future. Our future, if we allow this dump to come here, is that it won't be going to South Carolina. It'll be coming here, and it'll be dumped here from 7 other states. Every day, a shipment will be coming in some form or another. What is also interesting here is they haven't notified any of these communities. Those people who are about to be subjected to hazardously radioactive waste do not know it. And you will not know it if you are one of them. And that could be our future. We must protect the area around us and the area under our feet. And that is our challenge. To the governor and to the legislators, we ask 4 things. We ask, 1, that they withdraw all funding for this project. And 2, we ask that they retrieve the $30 million plus that North Carolinians have put into this project. Yeah. $30 million that could have gone to schools, roads, social programs, small business development, etc. 3, we ask that the governor and the legislators force the generators of hazardously radioactive waste to store it on site, and 4, we ask that they be liable for the damage that that radioactive waste has done. This is no more than we would have to do as individuals, or that our businesses would be asked to do as businesses of this state. There should be no exceptions to this, and we challenge the governor and the legislators to fulfill their obligation to us and to do that for us. Thank you.
Now, there has been some talk about the money being made by moving nuclear waste around, and I want to address that issue right now. Folks, it is true that 1 cubic foot of nuclear waste is worth $287. So a can this size is worth quite a bit of money. Now, we are willing, and I've talked this over with everyone involved with nuclear chem, we are willing to share the wealth with the citizenry. Now, if you would like, if you have an area in your home, your backyard, your front yard, if you have a back acre or 2, that's even better. You'll make much more money. But we will be glad to deliver free, no charge whatsoever, a 55-gallon drum and turn over to you something in the area of $2,000. Now, folks, I am not kidding.
I'm filthy rich. I have the money. Drinks here, hot drinks, tonic water, hot drinks. Hot drinks, get your hot drinks here, ma'am. Totally invisible, tasteless, odorless, but get you nice and hot from the inside out. You'll radiate with a new energy. Your electrons will spin in a different way, madam.
It's like this grab, you know. It's just so hard as nails and so primitive. This is what it's come to. That on this tour we have to go buy socks for ourselves because, you know, we have nothing.
I'm kind of used to having to go buy socks. Very Greenpeace.
See, I start to complain, and he takes this blasé attitude about it. He doesn't try to help me. Does he try to comfort me? It's a complete hard line. I used to live in a shoebox. Living in a shoebox isn't any big deal.
Claims she's living from New York City. Nonsense.
That's Brooklyn.
You were obviously raised in Vermont.
I was raised in Brooklyn. It's a different life. In Bedford-Stuyvesant, an old black area. It was a whole other life. But we had socks.
But we had socks.
We may not have had a lot, but we had
weren't
socks.
Rich. No, we were poor, but we had socks.
It's not everyone who has socks, but we had this. Oh, God.
Okay.
So that's the issue, though. What is this place like in South Carolina we're supposed to sleep in? Please give me the MO.
It's a big old, office building / warehouse for the miscellaneous Columbia left. But
What is this? Dave!
So could you tell me again what GROW stands for?
It's the Grassroots Organizing Workshop.
And can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, this is its 20th year. It's been a host to political activity of everything from everything no one else really wants to handle and stuff. This has been the place and the avenue to take.
I think you have to be able to take on the karma, which is to pack up the bus, which is a tragic moment for us all, and especially for you because it's your bus. And you're going to have to sort of kiss it goodbye.
No. Yeah?
It's gone. Yeah? Oh, you're getting money being wired to you. Good. Right. Right.
Oh, God. The ill-fated
Yes. Well, if you could rent a vehicle, if you put everyone else's stuff in it as well as yours, we'd really appreciate it. Instead of just leaving our stuff for us to pick up on our way back.
Well, you made it. Oh man, you made it. Front page of the Springfield Union in the box.
In the box, yeah.
They are.
It's cutting into your 15 minutes.
I hope they got your ring side.
I don't think, you know, at a distance you don't see it, so I don't think they pick it up. It's actually relatively anonymous. So, but there was a story there was stories in all this press. They're getting us the press in Albany, which is good.
I'm sure we got some decent press in Oneonta.
And Oneonta, I think we got a great
people
picture.
there,
There's
aren't
an
they?
incredible picture of me with the kids, and I've got my arm out. It's sort of like a revival meeting in some way, and it says, you know, something about Caravan of Con. It really looks incredible. I said, I don't believe it. Is that what we look like? It's very wild.
When we have the bus and the cask, yes.
Was the bus in that one?
No, you don't see the bus. The cask is sort of there, but no, you don't see the bus at all. It's just the energy of it.
Good.
The energy and the spirit is so much there.
Good.
And that's what was in North Carolina yesterday. We didn't,
Well, we need real copies of these pictures, though. Not just the
Well, we got to call,
newsprint.
I want you to put you on it. That's a job for you to do, because I'm not going to get to that job. But what I want you guys to see is that, you know, we didn't have the cask yesterday. It was running around. It was fine. But we were holding them right there with what we were doing and with the whole bit. And that's very important for us to see, because we don't need the bus. I mean, to have the cask is great. The bus was nice, but it's gone. And we have to say goodbye. All things end. But we do need a truck to put all our props in. And it can look groovy and everything. But it's not going to be the main show. The main show is the whole bit that we put together. And that's what they were affected by, was the whole bit. That's what reporters were calling about, was because it was so colorful. It wasn't just the bus. It was that there were the kids and the kids. You know, I couldn't, you know, if I had had an evil mind, I could say, put children in rad suits, get them to hold the sign, you know, and we would have done this bullshit and manipulated. But we didn't even do that. We said, oh God, I have to take my kids. I have nothing. They want to come with me. I'm on the road too much. I have to take my kids with me. But here, you know, is this thing that pulls together, you know, that the industry does in a kind of really opportunistic and manipulative way that is just coming from the heart of what we're doing, which is different. It's my sermon for the morning, to get you all to do right, for a fucking change. But it's true, it's in that pit. Maybe I have the pit, no, it's in another bag. My bag's all over the place, but it's in the computer bag. I'll show you the picture for Oneonta. I looked at the picture, I couldn't believe it. It was like, I didn't recognize it me at first. I looked at the picture, I said, wow, look at that picture. This is like this blessed event in some way, you know. So.
Folks, she's not acting. That's the real her. We wake up to this every morning. We get our pep talk, and then we're out fighting nukes. Nukebusters, Nukebusters, Nukebusters.
That's what we are, Nukebusters.
I'm so tired.
New England-based anti-nuclear movement really coming out of the 5 University area. They got involved in the Seabrook and us and Millstone, and this is the remains of them. A lot of them are overage and great, and we're pretty happy that we're gone.
Thank you. All right, well, we followed the approximate route of waste shipments down for 3 or 4 days now. We've been speaking with, together with people who live along the corridors of where the waste is shipped. Now we're in South Carolina, where the waste actually finishes its trip. And there's some issues of fairness involved in just how South Carolina is the primary host state for nuclear waste in this country. There's some issues of fairness with how the towns of Barnwell and Snelling became enmeshed as the dumping ground for much of this nation for nuclear waste. We come from Rowe, we come from some of the poorer towns in western Massachusetts, mill towns with not much economic base, and we understand just how these kinds of things can happen in communities where economically they're being forced to make a choice between money and jobs and long-term public health and safety. And basically we just like to we want to give time to people from South Carolina to address the fairness or unfairness of why South Carolina is the host for this. I'd like to introduce first Mildred Myers from the South Carolina Environment Watch.
I feel like a person filled with tears today. It's a shame that our state is the dumping ground for nuclear waste, the major dumping ground in the United States. It's a shame that any community would have to face such a terrible fate. It's really deplorable. What are we going to leave here? A legacy of death, a legacy of ruin. This is our state. Those South Carolinians who see this news report, please understand and please go on record to make those people who make the laws in South Carolina and the United States accountable to the masses of people. I realize that most South Carolinians want clean air, clean water and soil. They want their environment to be protected. But obviously, those that we have elected to serve us put deep pockets or a few dollars ahead of our health. It seems as though our health issues are always compromised. Always compromised. I'm angry. I'm angry. I'm angry, and I have no way beyond standing here to express this anger. I wish people would really listen, would wake up and would understand that devastation from nuclear material is a reality. Cancer that affect people with names, not just some lone individual out there that you can come up with through risk assessment, but an actual person living and breathing with a name, with family members that love and care for them. It's a disgrace when our governor will not stand up and be accountable to the people in South Carolina, that our legislators, with the exception of a very few, are not accountable and can walk out of this very building every day and smile and go sit in their little gray pinstripe or blue suits and eat lunch with no concern for those people who live here. Again, it's deplorable. It's deplorable that poor people, people who live in rural communities, and people of color have to bear this burden. If these same elected officials or those same people who have the means would allow these things in their communities and share that burden, then maybe I wouldn't be as angry. Although I don't think anyone should have to face this sort of lifestyle. It's a disgrace. I thank all of you who are here today who care enough about where this type of material is going to stand up and be counted and to make a statement against it.
Well, it's in the food, and it's in the air, and it's in the milk kids drink. Well, it's in the snow at Christmas, and it's in the kitchen sink. And down below the continent, there's tons of it on store. And all we got to do is keep it safe 1,000,000 years or more. You can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't stash it in the hall. You can't put it up for Europe, it won't answer when you call. You can't throw it down the outhouse, and my friends, this ain't no lie. You will give it like the money, but you'll never make it back.
Good. I'll get that changed so you'll have it, and the hydrogeological report, which will give you a sense of how it affected our community.
Because I'm really learning this from working with the nuclear laundry. It's located right down that way. I'm just beginning to learn this stuff. You know, before we've done toxic other types of treatment, and it's so appalling to me.
It never stops.
But if you get a chance, if any of you get a chance to come to Mississippi next weekend,
you know, I'd love.
Same people that come, it doesn't matter because the thing about it.
I know. It's all up. It's all up. I know. I would love to. Okay, we have to go because we're on our way down to Barnwell.
We're gonna follow you.
Yes. Okay. But we've got to drop our stuff first.
Okay,
I think that's why
we're
they're
going
doing.
right along with you. We're here for the whole day with you.
far behind.
Well, let me put it this way.
Yeah.
I want to get that on film.
Certainly.
Okay.
Certainly.
Now what's the hurry? Okay. We don't have to bolt. That obviously.
But we're not hurrying.
Yeah, but you were. I talked to you the first time, and I said let's slow down so that we can identify the people that are following
I'm
us
sorry, I
on film.
misunderstood. I thought you said you had gotten them.
No,
when we slowed down.
I didn't say that.
Okay. Well, we've really got to stop doing it anyway, because what's happening is we're drifting back, and then we're speeding to catch up, and we're deliberately putting ourselves in a situation.
No.
We need to just stay together and
okay,
go
but let's get this straight.
Right.
Okay. Those people, I wanted to get them on film.
I know.
Okay, that we're doing it. I think we have got them on film. Okay. The reason I asked you to slow down was so that we could get them on film.
Right.
They become obvious trailers.
Right.
If we can slow them down, or they'd be moving out in this lane.
Right.
So that's why I wanted to do that. Okay. That's very important to me.
Yes, I understand. But now, if we can all stay together, then we can get there together.
Yeah.
They'll be waiting for us there too.
They're going to be waiting for us
That's
there.
fine. I just want them on the film.
Okay, so we've got that now, right?
Right.
Good.
Lead them up that way. I can tell you how to get in that direction. I'll stay here with the big group. You know how to get there? Okay, just come around the other side of the building and let that red horse get behind you, and I'll tell you which way to go.
Which vehicle is going to be?
It's a champagne-colored LTD.
Yeah.
Unmarked.
Okay. Thanks. Talk to you again. Escorting a vehicle to Chemnuke to go pick up somebody who was trying to meet us there.
Oh.
He's working for us.
Uh-huh.
They bring him here, and we got it on film. Yeah. So they've got an escort going out right now, and we're just gonna stick around here for a little bit until they come back.
Okay. So he's just a worker?
He's a worker bee. He's
For Chemnuke?
No.
No,
For the
he's a
police.
sled dog.
state cop.
He's a
He's a
sled
state-
dog, just like the other guy in the town car.
Right.
And he's also trail officer.
Right.
They're from Columbia. They've been following along with us. Their company line is, and you got to believe it to a point, is that they're just out here to make sure nobody goes buckwheat on us.
Well, I
And
appreciate
totally,
that.
I thank you profusely for it.
Your Citizens Awareness Network.
Will you be heading out to Chemnuke there?
We're going to have a ceremony here.
Okay.
This is where
And
we
you?
were coming.
I'm from the local news media.
Right.
I'm from the press here.
Hi.
I'm Sharon Taylor.
I'm Debbie Katz.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
John Snelling.
Hi.
Right.
Hi, everybody.
John Snelling has, he's
My
on the
family.
Caravan of Conscience with us, and he has family buried here. And we wanted to come here to place flowers at these graves to acknowledge the people in our community who have suffered and people who have suffered throughout the country.
Suffered from what?
From exposure to low-level radiation and its effects.
Did your relatives die due to that?
No, they died. Most all of them. About 120 years ago, the mayor of Barnwell deeded over a small area of land, which is now called Snelling. And most all of the Snellings, the last of the Snellings, moved out. Basically, had they known that there was a nuclear repository over there in Snelling on the land that was deeded to them, I promise you they'd roll over in their grave.
But you know, the majority of the people here in Barnwell don't feel this way.
We don't expect them to. We're not asking them to change their position. I live in Rome, Massachusetts. I come from the community that has the reactor in it. And in our community, we have an epidemic of disease.
You do?
We have a 10-fold increase in Down syndrome children. We have statistical
So you definitely
significance.
have a problem.
We have a problem. And that's why we're doing this. We're not here to cause trouble, but we're suffering. And we know other people are suffering, and we want to acknowledge that suffering.
Right.
There's a way that reactor has caused suffering. I don't think they did it on purpose. I don't think they meant to do it. I don't think anyone knew the effects of like tritium, which is the major radionuclide that the reactor gave off during the 60s and 70s. But that tritium was dumped into our local river, and our kids swim in the river. Farmland is adjacent to it.
Right.
In droughts, the farmers draw water from the river for crops. And so the issues of how we maybe have been contaminated by that and by a paper mill in our community are real and immediate to us. We're also a poor community. You know, before the reactor came in, Roe couldn't even plow its own roads. We had to get other towns that had more money to plow
So you understand about when people say we need the job?
We do.
Right,
We've
right.
done it.
Absolutely. Now we've had studies in this area, and it is not shown that we've had any significant increases in.
We had those same studies.
We
in
had
our
those
area.
studies originally.
This last one that we had done, we sat on.
Do you not believe the studies? You think there's more to it?
I think there's more to it. That's what we came to believe, was because, you know, the Massachusetts Department of Health listed 2 children with Down syndrome in our whole community. We said we can bring in 10 children and show them to you. What are you saying to us?
Unfortunately, we were wrong. We could bring in more of them.
That we could bring in more of them.
So do y'all go to different parts in the country, and are you following this
Yeah,
vessel
we're
that's coming
following
down
the
right now?
vessel down because we are concerned that they're cleaning Roe up and they're dumping their waste somewhere else. And we don't think that's a good idea. We think if they held it on site even for 30 years, the amount of radioactive waste they'd have to bring down to your community would be a lot less.
So your
now, you
position
might
is
be
that they should have
ambivalent.
it stay put.
Stay put for now until we come up with a solution that meets the needs of everyone. See, right now the floodgates of waste are about to open because 25 reactors face premature shutdown and decommissioning in the next 10 years. That means a lot of reactors are going to start putting their waste on the road.
Yeah, it's a lot of on the road.
Yes, and a lot may come here, and in one way it may benefit you, and in another way, in the long run, it may hurt you. The way
Will all the good times past and gone? All the good times are over. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. Well, we pillage, we plunder, we tear, and we tunnel. Trees are falling down, and their roots finger to the sky. We're building a world for machines and computers. In the name of progress, our farms have to die. Well, all the good times are past and gone. All the good times are over. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. And when the last flower has lost its last petal, and when the last concrete is finally laid, the moon will shine cold on a nightmarish landscape. This gift to the children, this land that we made.
I would just like to invoke the spirit of Chief Seattle, who instructed people that the earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth, and that all things are connected.
So we have to leave them. It's so hard to leave the dead, you know. It's very hard to leave them. I remember. I've done this many times in my life. Leaving the dead. Thank you. Sing us out. I have
first ancestors over here came over this country were all sea captains. And in England, you were to become a sea captain was sort of a title or a position that you were given because you were a rebel. And it was a way of honoring, or whatever you might say, the people, to give them a title of sea captain, give them a ship to command, and send them away from England over here to America. Many people that were considered rebels in England weren't necessarily wanted in England, if you know what I mean. And I sincerely meant it when I said that they would never have stood for a nuclear dump in their town, or their piece of the town that they were given. You couldn't buy them. There was no way to buy this, any of the snowings.
If this gets to the press, that's bad. Huh? The fact that we got in this accident, if that made it to the press, he's thinking that's probably not such a good thing.
Oh, I thought I just read press release of that.
No, but see, I'm thinking just the opposite. There's going to be an endless string of trucks on the road that are going to run into exactly the same problem. At some point, they're going to have it too.
Table and broken bread together in a week, in the chaos and the disorder and the ecstasy of what we've been going through. And I want to thank you all for being on this trip and for us all coming with incredible grace and decency and goodwill, for having great adaptability and strength and perseverance and courage. And I consider you my family. So thank you all.
Here, here.
And here's to Connecticut. And the days ahead.
We're at the Blue Ridge Center, as you can see. When are they bringing the reactors out?
Well, they're doing it ahead of schedule to try to beat us out from going back up there. They're moving it Sunday now, which means
This Sunday?
Yes.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Then we have people up there, and it's going to be a question of how fast they can jack it up, which is a very
Is it
big
the vessel, is it?
Games like Cody.
And it should take somewhere around 5 days, because they can't go too fast because of the issues of harmonic resonance with the bridges, because they could literally take a bridge out. This thing is 366 tons, all on its own.
That must be terribly radioactive.
It's got over 6,000 curies in it, and the contact dose is 100 millirem an hour.
It's probably more.
That's what they're admitting.
Have you warned people along the route?
Yes, that's what we've been doing.
Has it been a good response?
Yes, we've had excellent press. We've done very well.
My goal today was to get 3 of the most powerful and articulate spokespersons for the movement. Dr. Helen Caldicott was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. She was a pediatrics instructor at the Harvard School of Medicine. Dr. Caldicott has come also a long way today to address her concerns. Doctor.
I just want to show you a map of America. That's the radioactive map of America. It's totally covered with nuclear facilities. I actually come from Australia, where it's safer to live because we don't have nuclear power plants. We just export uranium so other people can have nuclear power plants. But it's very dangerous, and you live in one of the most dangerous places here, 100 miles from Oak Ridge, 100 miles or so from 5 incinerators that are burning radioactive waste. It goes into the air, doesn't disappear, and people can breathe it into their lungs. It can concentrate in your food. You're in danger because radiation causes cancer. And it does cause Down syndrome and inherited birth defects too. You're on the route down to South Carolina. I know this is Jesse Helms district, but I have to say I'm pretty freaked out by those ads up here. There's one on the U-Haul truck, the United States Air Force. There's one here for the Air Force, one for the Marines. The Cold War's over. There are no enemies. And what America should be doing is making peace with the whole world and being the nation to teach the world how to live in peace. That's called morality. It's called spirituality. These airplanes up here kill. And this is what America should be about. Species is no enemy. Communism's disappeared. And this is a result of the Cold War. This. That is the result of the Cold War, and it's killing Americans. So as the Cold War ends, the hot war starts, and we're now seeing epidemics of children and adults dying of cancer. I'm a pediatrician, and if you've ever sat next to a bed of a child dying of leukemia, thin, swollen belly, no hair, grey, yellow, bleeding from the nose and the mouth, and dying, and knowing that parents will never recover from their grief till they die, then you'll know what I'm talking about. This is an issue of preventive medicine. So America built these bombs and made this radioactive waste because it was scared of communism. Communism's gone, and now Americans are going to die in their hundreds of thousands and millions over time because the radioactive waste lasts for thousands of years. And that's what this cask is about. And everybody should know this. That's all I need to say, I guess.
Thank you.
things like this make me really feel very connected to the cosmic flow of the universe and my belief in the fact that all of nature is working together to stop nuclear power and toxic chemicals. So it's really sometimes overwhelming to really feel connected to that cosmic force, angelic force. I don't know what to call it. It's just so special, so special energy that I sometimes feel inside me, and sometimes it overwhelms me with the feeling of joy and celebration. We're on the way now to Richmond, and this is as far as Gary and the bus, the original bus, made it, and we're going to meet them in Fredericksburg with a new bus that Gary bought, and continue north to the vigil at the railroad tracks.
Where you guys been? It's been 2 hours. Let's see what you got here. Holy shit, Gary. It was 500 for the bus with 375 for a rental truck. So it was like, it was one or the other. Well, I had to get my other bus too.
Take on, right? That's great.
So get this button right at the top.
All right.
Okay.
Great.
Woo! Hey, John, get over here. Come on.
Get over here. You, Gary, come on.
Yeah, John.
Okay. Because that's the only way I can see.
I don't know if we can even make it, but they've got it they've got it beside the railroad tracks where they're going to load it. But they probably won't load it till morning. So we'll see. We're about 9 hours from home, I think.
Tell me the truth. After 17-hour drive, what do you do?
I'm getting a shot of a radioactive waste gas.
I'm getting...
Thanks, man. You want to see how much radiation is going on right here?
You got a meter?
Yeah. Towards me a little bit more.
About the fact that they did it illegally. They're full of laws in there.
But it's not
and
just
what
that.
they can...
What's in there is still going to be radioactive how many thousands of years from now? I mean, what's a good figure to throw out for that?
Well, we don't... The truth is, if they just left on site 30 years, much of it would decay out.
Right, but some of it is not.
That's a lot.
This stuff, if just left in place for 30 to 100 years, would be, it would minimize worker exposure and public exposure, and the dump community would get almost no waste. I mean, if you just waited 30 years, it would decrease by 1 order of magnitude. I mean, it's an enormous amount, which is what we used on the trip, that it would go from like 136,000 curies to 13,600 curies. I mean, people sort of get that. That's a big difference.
136,000
to 13,600 in 30 years.
Greenpeace. But I think it's also important to say there isn't a statute for this, because the other part of that is how long is the other stuff that's in there going to be radioactive? Do you have any ideas about that?
I don't know what's in there. They don't give a breakdown of it, so we don't know. But what we have to put in the context of not just this vessel, but 25 vessels. Hundreds of millions of curies we're talking about, basically traveling on our roads and our railways to be dumped. I mean, what I've been using, and I can bring it out, I have my speech, is this sort of the idea of a technological marvel for the industry. The cutting edge of waste disposal is to dump it in the ground, whether they line it with clay or not. This is their idea of technique, and this is basically bankrupt. This isn't technique.
I still think in terms of talking about being able to talk about the lie of safe from start to finish, it's really important to say it hasn't finished.
No, it's not. It's a high-level
in this
waste.
community, and it hasn't finished in what's there, and there's the high-level waste.
And there's the high-level waste.
Okay.
And they're going to go to other communities. This is just the beginning of a process. And although Yankee is assuring people, and this is the only one they're doing, the man who basically ran the decommissioning of Roe is now in charge of Connecticut Yankee Reactor, and is going to be manning the decommissioning there, Russ Mello. And he's now in charge down there, and so they're going to begin one. And Oyster Creek has just announced that they will probably begin a rapid dismantlement in the year 2000. Well, if you're talking about a lot of waste on the road, traveling thousands of miles, you're going to have accidents. And you're going to have first responders and people who are not going to know how to respond to these accidents. If you notice what's up there, that isn't well marked that it's radioactive. There's a little sign on it, but if a first responder at night comes up to that and sees it, they may try to touch it. Well, that gives off 100 millirem contact dose an hour. And that's 100 millirem is the amount a citizens can get, according to the NRC, in 1 year, the allowable dose. 100 millirem. Well, that gives off 100 millirem an hour contact dose. And there are first responders who aren't going to know what's going on with this, who are going to be clueless about it. Not because they're not effective first responders, because they haven't been trained in dealing with this. And so the issue is there will be accidents, and there are potentials for contamination. And then you have the dump communities that are going to have to basically, for all the technology and the talk about lining these pits with clay and doing all sorts of stuff, all the clay does is retard the contamination, not stop it. And it's basically a controversial process that has been developed by Chem Nuclear to cover up the fact that what they do is they still put this waste in trenches. And even the pictures that Yankee shows is basically being put in a giant trench. Well, the quality of Barnwell soil is that it really doesn't compact well, and it's really sandy, which means it doesn't hold anything very well. So the potential for the contamination to spread through, as it has already, there is a tritium leak on site, is very great. And we think all of this needs to stop, because if a quarter of the reactors in this country are going to start stripping themselves in the next 8 years, then it would be better for us to stop the experiment and set a conservative national policy that is environmentally just, safe and sound, and meets the needs of the American people, not just the nuclear industry.
Now, have there been accidents? This is not the first shipment, obviously.
They had a contaminated cask, in fact, that went from Chem Nuclear to Yankee, and then back from Yankee to Chem Nuclear. And it was what they call weeping, which means it was giving off higher amounts of radioactivity than was allowed during the process of decommissioning. And there have been accidents. There was a spill, I think it was in fact in South Carolina, in which the Department of Energy had, in Surrey, I think it was from the Surrey reactor, wanted a truck you know, gave a route to a truck that unfortunately put it under a bridge that it was too high to get under, and the top of the truck was cut off, spilling radioactive waste on the road, for which they had to cut out part of the roadway. There was, in fact, an accident with high-level waste on I-91 4 or 5 years ago, in which unused fuel rods fell out of a truck, and there was a fire there that burned for hours and hours. Yes, there have been accidents already. The danger is they're going to be more, and they'll be graver, and people will not be prepared to deal with them.
Excuse me, what's going in the barrels? Oh, it's just gear oil that came off of the tractor when it was upside down. None of that is radioactive. No, it's gear oil that was in the back of the tractor, the axle. Thanks. Thanks, that's a big reassurance. No, nothing was hot at all. Okay. We'd be a lot farther away. Yeah, good thinking.